all. Having time with tati. Honestly, it's been a while. I think the last video I posted was like 2 years ago. For today's topic, I mainly wanted to like discuss about how, honestly, how different life is because of social media and the way we live. I constantly think back about how my childhood was like different. I remember as like a kid, I would go out in public with my family, just in general. Like let's say we went to like Olive Garden, people would start conversation, or we would start conversation with other people. Like a random older lady. Like I remember this random older lady came up to us, and I ordered the tour of Italy, and I was like 10. Then the lady was like, "Oh, she's sure is gonna eat all of that," and then my mom was like, "Yeah, she's gonna eat all of it," and I did. Like people, that's a small example, but it's just an example that I'm saying like people used to socialize more. That's what I'm trying to like bring about. Like people actually went up to strangers, actually talked to people, and like having and starting a conversation with the random person wasn't considered weird, you know? Like, and I still do that now sometimes, but I feel like at the older generation, they respond. Like if I were to go in public and I tell a person, "Hey, I like your shoes," all they're gonna say is thank you. Like yeah, I'm giving you a compliment, but usually most of the time when I give a compliment, there's gonna be like a conversation. If a person compliments me, like I get compliments about like my septum sometimes, or I get comments on it, and I start a conversation like, "Yeah, I got a pierce here and stuff like that, and this is what happened." The conversation starts flowing. Like I actually like having conversations with people. Not every day, but sometimes, like most of the time, yeah. And I do, unfortunately, it is that damn phone. I do blame the phone. I do blame social media. Like, how can I not? When I was a kid, social media didn't really exist like that. The most we had was like YouTube, Pinterest, and like what, Vine. That's about it. I mean, we had Instagram, but it's like Instagram wasn't like big as now. Instagram is basically going band for band with other people. That's basically what Instagram is. Because of how like society is now, it really is different. Like I can go on a whole tangent about this. Like I could really talk about this for hours, because it honestly does. I think I think about this a lot. Let me just say that I think about this frequently, and it's just disheartening to see like people not really happy, me included. Like yeah, I'm content because happiness is found within, but it's like when it comes to the state of my life, not really. You know, there's some things I want to change, there's some things that I think shouldn't be this way, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know? Like, it is what it is. But social media really makes us, in general, I could only speak about my generation, because that's all I hang out with. It just makes us think that that expectation, that fantasy world of social media is our reality, and we make it our reality. Like TikTok lingo. Like if we were to say things like, honestly, like things that if a person doesn't watch TikTok, they're not gonna get it. Like we bring TikTok in our everyday lives. Something that only exists on our screen, we bring it into our everyday lives. So that means we make it our reality. But it shouldn't be our reality, because it's just something that should keep us entertained. Like, it's only for fun, but now we make it our whole lives. Like, I'm trying to make my screen time less than 5 hours. If you ask a random person, "Hey, what's your screen time?" 9 times out of 10, their screen time is gonna be at least 8 hours. I can't blame them. These social media apps were literally made and designed to keep us there for a long time. You scroll, it's endless. There's no bottom of the For You page. There's no bottom of the Explore page. There's no bottom of anything. It keeps on going. They purposely make it that way so you can stay on that app so they can get more money. It's easy to start comparing yourself. You'll see somebody on like your For You page. Like I'm 20, so I'll see like a 20-year-old, for example. They might have their own crib, their own car. They support themselves. In my eyes, that's a flex. Cause me, I ain't got that, and that's okay. But it's easy for me to sit down and be like, man, I ain't doing nothing with my life. This and this. This person has. Because at the end of the day, their journey is different from mine. They might have things that I want, but they might not have things that they want, but I have it. Everyone's different. Like, I shouldn't just think my growth isn't there because my growth looks different than another person. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, yes, they're advancing in their career. They have their own career. They got their own car. They got their own. But I also shouldn't discredit what I have. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm actually satisfied with the person that I am. I'm actually content with myself. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm grateful for what I look like in the outside and what I look like in the inside. I've done the shadow work and I'm still doing the shadow work. I'm healing. I'm trying to talk to people. I'm actually trying to like have deep conversations. I should just throw that away because I don't have a car or my own crib or anything outside of me. I should just be grateful for what I have. But back to the whole social media thing, like, and it also does affect the way we talk. Like, I already said that, but I'm saying like, I went to 2 different colleges. The last college I've been to, I hated it. I'm not gonna say it, but I didn't like that college. And one of the main reasons is people were acting weird. Example, I met this girl, I'm gonna just call her Star. I met this girl named Star. I saw her at a few events at a certain club. I keep on seeing her in the events, and I'm like, okay, let me start talking to her. She's cool, we're laughing, we hang outside of the club, we talk to each other, we exchange social medias. I sound old saying that, man. Damn. Anywho, we exchange our information, we start texting and stuff. I'm thinking, hey, we're cool, we're friends. This is what friends are. Okay, a week goes by, we're not hanging out. In my head, if I'm friends with somebody, the amount of times we hang out or talk to each other does not define our friendship. I could talk to my friend for like 5 days in a row, and then 2 weeks from now, or a year from then, I wouldn't talk to her, and a year later we start talking. It's okay. Everybody's different. Everybody got a life. That's cool. I'm not really a high maintenance friend like that. There's nothing wrong with being a high maintenance friend. We never talked for like a few days, and we would walk past each other. I would say hi. I don't get nothing back. What's that about? What they said fuck me for? Like, I'm just confused because it's like, huh? You walk past me, and then the next day you'll text me like it's cool. We made eye contact. You saw me wave to you, and you just walked away. Like, it's just things like that. And then I would try to talk about it with another person, like, oh, it's not that deep. You're tripping. No, I ain't tripping. Because if I were to call somebody my friend and they wave at me and I ignore them, that ain't my friend then. Because why would I ignore them? Despite if I had a bad day or not. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just like, I don't want to say it's the principle, but it is the principle. Like, it's just common courtesy. Like, that's rude as hell. Like, I feel like people don't care about being rude. One example, and there's like many different examples on me like expressing social norms are not social norms, and the way we interact with people is different from how it used to be. Like, social media is not that social. But don't get me wrong, TikTok has helped me in a lot of different ways, but it also has studied my growth in a lot of different ways. I've been, for the past few months, I started to sun gaze, go outside, get some sun, let it absorb through my skin. You know, like, look at the sun, just look at nature. Like, I'll sit outside, sit in the grass. Like, I walk barefoot, try to connect to nature, because it's actually really peaceful. There's nothing that a phone can do to replicate the peacefulness, the quiet, like, that nature brings. Like, there's nothing that can top it. I would try to like mention that, and people look at me like I'm the weirdo. How? I'm literally just sitting down in the grass. People look at me like that's unusual, because unfortunately, it's not common. I remember as a kid, whenever I was bored, I'd go outside and play. Like, fortunately, I see some kids at my neighborhood, they play. Like, it's refreshing to see little kids play outside, because I haven't seen that in a while. But I see that once in a while now, which I'm grateful for. But like, playing outside, it really does heal something. Like, it really does something to the soul. Like, even if you gotta like, let's just say you don't want to not bring your phone, like you want your phone, okay, just go on your phone outside. Like, change the setting. Instead of being in your room, instead of being in your crib, if you have the opportunity to just leave. Find a safe space. Try things new. Get out your comfort zone. Like, just because you're comfortable doesn't mean you're doing a good thing. In every aspect of growing, it's never comfortable to grow. I don't know why being comfortable is seen as something that's good. Yeah, it's nice to be comfortable, but all the time, no. When you're teething, like when babies teeth, they're not comfortable. It's itchy for them. They gotta like chew on something. That's not comfortable. When you shave down there and you got pubic hair, it's itchy. It's not comfortable. Feel like a little porcupine down there. That ain't comfortable. Pressure makes diamonds. Like, you're going through a rough time, you think, and you feel like every aspect of your life is just downhill. Like, you lost your job, you lost your significant other, your friends are not talking to you that much, your family is going through a lot of conflict, you don't find pleasure in doing the things that you love, your hobbies are not that fun anymore. If you're going through that, or any example of just life is not the same and life sucks, the only way out is up. Be grateful for this time. Because when you get up from there, when you're actually happy in life, when you're actually enjoying what life has to bring for you, you can look back at that hard time and those experiences and think to yourself, wow, I've really grown from there. You should strive for progress, not perfection. Everybody's journey looks different, and social media just demolishes that point of view. But I'm saying social media, when I say social media, I mean like just regular social media. Like, I'm not talking about hopecore or nostalgic videos. I'm not talking about like positive videos. They're scarce on social media because the fact that you gotta look for positive videos, you could just exist on TikTok and you find a negative video. You could literally just exist. You find a video of somebody doing the 7 deadly sins. Like, I mean, so for real, like, you'll find some form of a video of somebody gossiping about somebody harming someone, somebody doing something sexual, somebody doing something like greedy, like something. You just open the app. That's the first thing you might see. Like, I'm not saying everybody's For You page is like the same, but you will find one of those sins in there. And the fact that you gotta say positive videos just proves that it's scarce, because why you gotta say positive videos instead of videos? If it was really that much positivity, you didn't have to single it out and say it's positive, because it's out of the norm. Life is different outside of social media. I actually feel, I feel whole. I feel like myself. I feel whole now. The less and less I'm on social media, the more fulfilling I am. The more grateful I am to be alive. The more I feel like life is not that bad. You'll just watch one TikTok, and then 2 hours later, you're like, damn, it was just one TikTok. It wasn't just one TikTok. You've been scrolling, you didn't even realize you've been scrolling for 2 hours. That's 2 hours of your life gone down the drain. That's 2 hours of memories that could have been made. 2 hours of progress you could have made. Something productive, like, I don't know, taking a nap or something. Could have made a video. You could have hang out with your friends. You could have hang out with your siblings. You could have hang out with your parents. You could have hang out with your grandparents. Like, you could have done something. Play with your dog. Like, that's 2 hours of your life just gone. And I constantly think of, like, if that's 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day for 365 days out the year, damn, I gotta do the math. We got 365 times 8. See, I could be using a calculator, but I said, why not? Let me try. Okay. I got 2,920. Hopefully I'm right. When I edit this, I'm gonna see if I got it right. Because if not, hey, everybody makes mistakes. 2,920 hours erased from your life. Like, that's dangerous. And I'm just talking about average. Like, I'm not even talking about the days where, like, you spent like 12 hours. Like, that's too much time going down the drain. It's not that big of a deal. But when was the last time you made a photo booth? Like, a photo booth. The last time you made like a photo book, a photo album with all your memories. You can't make those with TikToks. I mean, you can make a gallery under, like, you can make a collage of videos under gallery or something like that, but it ain't the same. Like, I'm talking about like 10 years from now, when you look back at right now, what are you gonna have to, like, what are you gonna have to, like, look back on? What are you gonna have to ruminate on? To yourself, oh, I remember this time I was having a great time. You're not even gonna think about that because you're too busy being on TikTok. I ain't trying to bash anybody, but I'm just trying to make you look at this perspective. Something different to think about. Because I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, damn, I'm literally wasting so much time and so many hours of my day. You know, I could be doing something like making memories. Pick up a hobby, like start crocheting, skateboarding, roller skating, like, I don't know, kayaking, hiking. Pick up a language. Like, there's other things to do. There really is. And I find myself shrinking my screen time. Is not easy. It's not easy at all. Like, it's actually very difficult, but I'm getting comfortable. I'm getting uncomfortable now so I can be comfortable in the future. Because this is actually damaging us. Like, this is actually, like, hurting us. It kind of reminds me of, like, whenever, like, for example, cigarettes used to be a medication. Cigarettes used to be something that doctors used to prescribe. Yeah, I'm being for real. Like, cigarettes used to be something that the doctors would tell you, you need to calm down. Let me prescribe you a pack of cigarettes. Yeah. And then, years later, they're like, guys, cigarettes are actually really bad for you. They knew it was bad for you to begin with. You're telling me that they had to find out that it was bad for you by giving it to you, seeing the effects. Now they're like, oh, guys, it's actually really bad. They knew that already. They knew that already. They don't care. They just want your money. They already knew that. Same thing with social media. They made this. They purposely made it addicting. They hired psychologists because they know how the brain works. They hired psychologists to help them make the app so they can figure out how to make people more addicting to it, because they know how the human brain works. They purposely made it this way. They don't care about the effects, but they know that it messes you up. They know that already. I don't need to hear articles saying social media and long screen times is messing up your brain. I already see that already. The next time you open up TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, or whatever social media platform you use, try to close it. Try to do something that makes you happy, or figure out what makes you happy. Because within life, you're not trying to find yourself, you're going to create yourself. You can't really figure that out if you're constantly on social media. It has its benefits, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying social media is completely bad, but too much of anything is not good. Take everything with moderation. Find your balance, find your happiness, find your joy. And life can really be fulfilling. There's heaven on earth somewhere. And you just gotta ask yourself if you want to be part of it. But anywho, bye.